In 2013, the Chars Livelihoods Programme conducted a study to investigate the effectiveness and sustainability of its village development committees. Many of CLP activities require deep-rooted social change, which relies on participation and commitment from the community at all levels. Village Development Committees, or VDCs, were introduced to CLP in 2010, aimed at being both an anchor for this change and an authority and form of governance within the community. The overall objective of the VDCs was to assist and monitor CLP's activities to ensure their long-term success. This would include supporting CLP's asset transfer project, reinforcing CLP trainings, identifying and solving problems in the community, coordinating with government, NGO and service providers, and assisting during natural disasters and disease outbreaks. CLP works to alleviate poverty at the household and community level. Participants are enrolled in the programme for 18 months, after which point they graduate. A key objective of the CLP is to ensure participants graduate in a sustainable way and do not slip back into extreme poverty once CLP phases out. With just over 2 years left of the programme, it was important to understand if VDCs could remain sustainable and if they could help ensure participants remained out of extreme poverty. The sustainability of VDCs was defined as when VDCs continue to contribute to village development following the phase-out of CLP programmes. Questionnaires, focus group discussions and key informant interviews were conducted with a sample of committee members from both active and non-active VDCs. CLP core participant and non-core community members were also spoken to. Results of the study highlighted some strengths and successes of the VDCs, including VDC objectives, achievements and the commitment from members. The majority of VDCs had clear multiple objectives, which were matched closely with CLP's overall objectives for the VDCs. The prevention of early marriage, conflict management, and improving health, hygiene and sanitation were the top 3 reported objectives. The prevention of early marriage was also a highly reported achievement, as was health, hygiene and sanitation, and obtaining funds from government, such as widows' pensions. Only 16 out of 42 VDCs had some of their original members leave, demonstrating a strong commitment from members. In 15 of these VDCs, members were re-elected, demonstrating good strategy, and again commitment from the committee to continue. The results of the report also highlighted some barriers and weaknesses of the VDCs, which included the irregularity of meetings, the impacts of the removal of CLP support, and ownership of the VDCs. During CLP support, VDCs meet monthly. The frequency of meetings was recognised as an essential component to the functioning of the VDCs. However, after CLP phased out of the communities, the regularity of meetings declined for both active and non-active committees. Reasons for this included the removal of CLP support, the declining interest or laziness of members, the impacts of river erosion, and the belief that all targets had been achieved. The removal of CLP support impacted the groups in a number of ways. Financial incentive is a key reason. During CLP support, there is a provision of snacks and a budget to cover meeting expenses. Once CLP support finished, members saw no incentive to come together for meetings. Financial disincentives were also a concern. When VDC members were called to a meeting, they risked losing a day's wage. The majority of VDC members are extreme poor or poor members of the community, and the long-term benefits of keeping the committee active may not override this short-term need to earn money. Further, the lack of an income-generating activity was a concern. VDCs felt disheartened when they could not solve a problem in their community due to financial constraints. Ownership was also a key issue. Some groups saw the VDC as a CLP initiative. This meant that no one took responsibility for the VDC once CLP phased out, and members were unsure what their roles should be. Some groups even reported that ensuring VDC sustainability was the responsibility of CLP rather than of the VDCs themselves. There were some clear differences between active and non-active VDCs, and this allowed us to understand some of the factors that could contribute to their sustainability. One factor related to the number of links VDCs made with government and service providers in their community. Links are important to ensure VDCs are aware of assistance available to them and how to obtain it. The average number of links made by active VDCs was 2.4, compared with non-active VDCs, who made 1.3 links. Active VDCs also reported making more useful links compared with the non-active VDCs. Having a disaster response strategy is important to help committees recover in times of crisis and for the VDCs themselves to sustain. Of the active VDCs, 3/4 had a disaster response strategy, compared with just 1/3 of non-active VDCs. Training is essential for building the capacity of the VDCs. Attendance at training was between 75% and 100% for active VDC members, compared with just 1/3 to 2/3 of non-active VDC members attending. Of those who did attend trainings, active VDC members did report finding the trainings more useful to their committee's functions than non-active VDCs. All active VDCs had a long-term vision for their committee, and 66.7% included the continuation of the VDC in this. For non-active VDCs, 23.3% did not create a long-term vision for their committee, and only 16.7% included the continuation of the VDC. This research has allowed CLP to identify key strengths and weaknesses of the VDCs and to identify indicators of sustainability. Recommendations were made to enhance the capacity of the VDCs and to increase their sustainability. To learn more about CLP's village development committees and the recommendations from the study, please click on the link.